Attention passionate Montreal, Canadiens fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the Atlantic Division and it could shake up the entire conference. We're talking about a direct impact on Montreal Canadiens' path to another Stanley Cup run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Montreal Canadiens fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Montreal, Canadiens fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. The NHL landscape is constantly shifting, and the Montreal Canadiens are right in the middle of some intriguing developments. It's no secret that the Habs have been looking to bolster their roster, especially when it comes to that all-important second-line center position. Last season, Nick Suzuki proved to be a true star, taking a massive step forward and establishing himself as one of the league's premier centers. With 89 points, Suzuki carried the team offensively and showed that he can be the backbone of Montreal's attack for years to come. But beyond Suzuki, there's been a noticeable need for a more consistent, reliable second-line center, someone who can complement Suzuki and help push the team into more serious playoff contention. And this desire for a strong second-line center isn't new. The Canadiens have been linked to rumors involving Nazem Kadri of the Calgary Flames, and while that option remains on the table, the reality is that acquiring Kadri may not be as straightforward as it seems. Kadri, a veteran with a proven track record, would fit nicely into Montreal's plans, especially given his offensive ability and playoff experience. But the Flames aren't necessarily eager to part ways with him, and his contract, combined with Calgary's somewhat unpredictable direction, makes a deal tricky. Plus, Kadri has reportedly expressed willingness to waive his no-trade clause if the right opportunity arises, but even that alone doesn't guarantee a quick or easy move. So, the Canadiens brass has been looking for alternatives, and one name that has been gaining traction lately is Mason McTavish. Yes, Mason McTavish, the young and talented 21-year-old center from the Anaheim Ducks, is emerging as a very interesting Plan B now. Why is McTavish suddenly becoming a hot topic among Canadiens fans and analysts? Well, NHL insider Jeff Merck recently mentioned on the Seckers and Price show that McTavish is probably the most available he's ever been, and that the Ducks could be open to moving him as they try to reshape their roster under GM Pat Verbeek. McTavish, for those who may not be fully familiar, is a player with impressive size, skill, and a promising two-way game. He's a guy who can contribute offensively but also play a responsible role in his own zone. And at just 21 years old, he's really just beginning to tap into his potential. The Ducks, in a bit of a rebuild mode, are eager to turn the page and become more competitive, and that could mean making some tough decisions about their young core. This is where Montreal might see an opportunity. As a restricted free agent, McTavish needs a new contract, but he's under team control, which makes him a more sustainable option than a veteran like Kadri who might command a significant salary and a longer-term commitment. Plus, Montreal's management could see him as a long-term piece to build around alongside Suzuki and Cole Caulfield. The Canadiens are aiming to develop a core of young, talented players who can grow together and eventually contend for a Stanley Cup. McTavish, with his combination of size, skill, and two-way play, fits perfectly into that mold. Now, I know some of you might be wondering, how realistic is this? Well, trades for young centers are rare, but the Ducks are eager to turn the page and they're reportedly open to moving McTavish if the right offer comes along. Heavy. Com recently floated a hypothetical scenario where veteran players could go to Anaheim in exchange for McTavish, which shows that the Canadiens might be considering bold moves to land this promising player. Even without diving deep into potential trade packages involving Mike Matheson or Josh Anderson, the idea illustrates that Montreal could craft an appealing offer to Anaheim, especially if Kadri turns out to be too costly or unavailable. Think about it. If Kadri's price tag proves too high, or if he simply doesn't want to come to Montreal, then shifting focus to McTavish makes a lot of sense. The Canadiens are in a position where they're looking to accelerate their rebuild and take that next step toward being serious contenders. Bringing in a player like McTavish, who's young and under team control for years, could be a game changer. He would be part of that core alongside Suzuki and Caulfield, forming a formidable trio that could grow together and carry Montreal's offense into the future. This potential trade isn't just about filling a hole. It's about making a strategic move that could pay dividends for years to come. It's about building a sustainable, competitive team that can challenge the best in the league. And given how the Ducks are reshaping their roster, it's entirely possible that they might be willing to listen to offers, especially if they're looking to accelerate their rebuild and acquire some veteran pieces or draft capital in the process. By the way, this move wouldn't just be a win for Montreal. It could also be a statement to the rest of the league that the Canadiens are serious about competing sooner rather than later. They've got a solid foundation with Suzuki and Caulfield, and now adding a player like McTavish could give them that extra edge. It's a smart, strategic move that aligns with the team's long-term vision, growing a core of young, talented players who can lead Montreal back to Stanley Cup contention. And let's not forget how important it is to develop young talent in today's NHL. The league is increasingly driven by young, dynamic players who can change the game with their speed, skill, and hockey IQ. McTavish fits that profile perfectly. His size and two-way game make him versatile, and he can be a key piece in Montreal's lineup for years to come. That's the kind of player you want when building a championship contender. Looking ahead, it's clear that the Canadiens are positioning themselves for a competitive future. The offseason is always filled with surprises, and this potential move for McTavish could be one of the biggest stories for Montreal this year. Fans are eager to see how GM Kent Hughes and his team will navigate the trade market, especially with so many teams looking to shake things up. The possibility of landing a young, promising center like McTavish is an exciting prospect that could redefine the team's trajectory. And remember, this isn't just about one player or one trade. It's about the bigger picture, Montreal's plan to build a team that can compete for the Stanley Cup in the coming seasons. They're laying the groundwork now, and moves like these could be the difference between a team that's merely rebuilding and one that's ready to contend. The Canadiens have a rich history of developing talent, and it looks like they're once again aiming to bring that spirit to life with strategic, bold moves in the trade market. So, as fans, we need to keep our eyes peeled. The offseason is just heating up, and the rumors will only intensify. Will Mason McTavish be wearing the Canadiens' jersey next season? Only time will tell, but the signs are pointing in that direction, and I, for one, am pretty excited about what this could mean for Montreal's future. It's an intriguing story to follow, and I believe that the Canadiens are on the verge of making a move that could really change the game for them. The next few weeks are going to be critical, and I can't wait to see how it all unfolds. Pause here, just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Montreal Canadiens news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Montreal Canadiens fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you believe Mason McTavish is the perfect fit for the Canadiens? Or do you think the team should keep pursuing other options like Kadri? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Canadiens. Remember, this is just the beginning, and I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Montreal Canadiens news. We're in an exciting time, and it's your passion and feedback that make this community so special. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Canadiens!